Do you want a wedding that looks like this? But the truth is, your wedding budget looks more like this? Well, if that's the case, that's what we're gonna dive into today. We are still feeling the effects of the coronavirus. And one of the craziest parts of all of this is that so many people missed out on huge life events. So whether that was prom, graduation, or one of the biggest events of your life, your wedding. So some of you out there, you had to postpone or even cancel completely. This was one of Winston's friends. One of his best friends was getting married, and they had to cancel it all, and they just texted us one morning randomly, and they were like, get on Zoom tonight because we're getting married. We were like, what? So it's just crazy, right? What's going on right now? Like, it was just wild. So I don't know your situation, or if you've had to reschedule your wedding, or you're just starting to plan it for the first time, but I wanna help you reset and plan a wedding within your means. You can have a wedding that you love and still start out your marriage with cash in the bank. So in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to do just that. I'll debunk some wedding lies that everyone believes. I'll help a couple create the perfect wedding budget for their wedding. And I'll show you some money-saving hacks from a wedding planner. But the key here, you guys, is just to remember, when you're planning your wedding, do not go into debt for it. Okay, we talk about no debt on the show a lot. But this is the truth. The deeper you go into debt, the longer it's gonna take you to get out, and you end up spending so much money when you're not budgeting and you just say, oh, yeah, I'll add that on, I'll tack that on. Because when you're just borrowing money from the bank, it's like, yeah, add in some more flowers. Yeah, we'll add some more people. We'll get a band instead of a DJ. Like, you start making all these decisions and you end up spending so much money for one day. Okay, let's just be honest. I loved my wedding day. It was great. I want you to love it too. But the rest of your marriage, you have so much time to spend. And if you take one day, go deep in a financial hole, you're really probably gonna regret it, okay? You really will. I've talked to so many people and they're like, why did we spend so much on our wedding? Like, it was insanity. And I'm like, I know, because we get caught up and we believe this lie, like, oh yeah, your wedding should be like this expectation, this level, and it's just not the truth. So I don't want you to feel guilty if you have a small budget for your wedding. So if it's $1,000 you have to spend, that's okay. You have $1,000, so just spend it and be wise with that. The wedding is not about impressing everyone else. It's about you and your spouse. So be realistic about your wedding and put your effort into the marriage, not the wedding. That is what I told my brother when he got married. I was like, listen, Daniel, cut that wedding budget in half, save the rest for marriage counseling because it's a much better investment in your life, I promise you. Now, all of you that have been married for a while, you're just like nodding your head saying, yep, ain't that the truth? Now, you've probably been told a lot of things about weddings that are just lies. Like, you've been told probably, your wedding sets the tone for the rest of your marriage, or it's the best day of your life, so spare no expense. But the truth is, that might mean that you're still making payments on your 5-year wedding anniversary. Now, these aren't the only things that you've heard. So let's break down a few of the lies that everyone has been told when it comes to weddings. All right, lie number 1, that all prices are the same no matter the event. Lie, lie, lie. Listen, some vendors mark up prices simply because it's called a wedding. One of my friends got married. She went to go get her wedding cake, and the bakery had just specialty cakes and they had wedding cakes. Well, she looked, she was like, well, I could just call it a specialty cake, make it look like a wedding cake. And that's what she did. She paid $50 for her cake versus hundreds of dollars of what the wedding cake would have cost her. Another lie is that you have to spend a ton of money to get the perfect engagement ring. The average cost right now of engagement rings is $5,900. And the whole idea of like, well, he needs to spend 3 months of his salary on a ring. Okay, that rule came from a marketing campaign that the De Beers Diamond Company ran in the 1930s. Guys, they just wanted to sell bigger diamonds. So how do you spend less on an engagement ring? Well, stick to your budget. Now, we recommend only spending 1 month's salary on the ring. There's another lie that you have to meet your guests and your family's expectations. But the truth here is that you need to create boundaries, and this is going to help you. Wake up, this is your day. You get to choose. You get to decide what your wedding looks like. So who cares if your guests want an open bar? Just give them a little bar of chocolate and they're gonna love you anyways. Or if mom and dad want to invite everyone, Aunt Felicia, twice removed, and she's on the wedding guest list, you just need to say, bye, Felicia. Sorry, mom. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding. You can be a little bit nicer than that. But you know what I'm saying? Go through and say, no, this is my wedding. So here are the takeaways. It's more important that you guys start out on the same page than just meeting everyone else's expectations. So start your marriage off on the right foot with my wedding gift pack. So this comes with the contentment journal, the total money makeover, the conversation starters for couples guide, and his and her envelopes and more. And these are just some of my favorite things. You guys are gonna love it. And if you have a friend getting married, this is the perfect wedding gift. I want you to love your marriage and start your marriage off on the same page. Now, the last lie is that you have to go into debt and spend a ton of money in order to have the perfect wedding. 1/3 of American couples go into debt for their wedding, and lenders are issuing up to 4 times as many wedding loans than they did just a year ago. And according to an article I read, one lender said that people are borrowing, on average, $16,000 for their wedding. And you guys, that's probably on top of other debt they have, like student loans and credit cards and car payments. So you're really crushing your dreams by adding debt into your life. And I'm just not okay with that. It doesn't have to be that way. A bigger wedding does not mean a better marriage. So in the next segment, I'm going to bring on a couple who has $8,000 to spend on their wedding. And we're gonna talk through, how do you budget? How do you save? And how do you still have a great wedding? As a mom, every day I take precautions to give my family peace of mind. It's simple things like locking the front door, making sure the car seats are buckled in, and putting my phone away when I'm driving. But we don't always think about the bigger things. Like, what if something happened to you or your spouse? That's why you need term life insurance. It makes sure your family's taken care of no matter what happens. I trust Zander Insurance. They keep my family protected, and that gives me such peace of mind. They make things super simple and find the best options and prices. To learn more, call Zander today or go to Zander.com. Make sure your family has the term life insurance they need. All right, Mitchell, Malia, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So fun. Okay, engaged. Prepared for the wedding. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty great.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You just ready for it to be here?
Yes.
Definitely.
That's kind of how I was. I was like, let's just do it. Let's just do
Exactly.
it. So money, big part of the wedding, right? The
is.
wedding budget, it's a big one. So I always start off with couples when we talk about wedding budgets is you have to figure out your total. So it's like, this is what we're gonna spend. So do you guys have that number?
We do.
I think we do. It's 8,000.
8,000,
Is our
perfect.
baby little budget.
No, it's so great.
Okay.
That's the thing. These days, I'm like, you can pull off anything
Okay.
for any amount of money. So that's
That's
great. Okay, so I printed off a wedding budget here. Very easy, very simple. So go ahead and write the top number there, which is 8,000 on the top of the wedding budget. And then the next thing I always recommend is to go through the list and say, okay, what are things that we value as a couple? Like, here are the things we want to put money towards because we love it. So do you guys have a couple of those things? Maybe 3, 4 things?
Definitely the clothing, the dress.
The dress. All right, put a big circle
Yes.
Number
around
one
that.
priority.
Yes.
Where's that guy here?
She works in fashion, so that's a big,
Oh, so the dress is
big
yes.
thing for her.
Just
love
a little important.
Yes.
No, you just
Yeah.
appreciate it, right? You want
Exactly.
it. Yes, I love that.
And the second thing was a suggestion from family, and it's the photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've heard that the memories are important.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
it's better to have visual
Because
representation.
at the
of that.
end of it, that's all you really have.
So true.
So-
Yes, get a
Yeah.
good photographer. Yeah.
Okay.
So off the top of your head, do you have an idea of, okay, this is how much we want to spend on the dress, this is how much we want to spend on the photographer?
Well, we kind of already spent it on the photographer.
All right, so it's done.
So it's
Perfect.
done.
So put that total. What is that?
It is
Okay.
done.
So a whopping 3,200.
Beautiful.
Massive chunk of our budget.
Part of it, but hey, it's what you
But,
value, it's what you
know,
want.
And clothing, not sure yet, but between us both, we're budgeting about
2,000. Yeah.
2,000.
Yep, perfect. All right, go ahead and mark that there.
Okay.
Okay, and so then you got to figure out, okay, what do we have left to spend the money on?
Yeah.
And then this is a great place to look to see, okay, what are things that we can cut? So I even just go down the list. So do you guys have a venue right now?
We do. Yes.
Okay, how much is that?
So total was 8.
8. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yep. Go ahead and add that. Awesome. Okay, marriage license usually is going to
think
cost
it's
like
$100.
about $100.
Yeah.
Have you guys done a pastor's gift yet, or you can skip it for right now? Perfect. No worries. Okay, rings. Dun, da, da, da.
We've done some research and we think that we can what would you say? Maybe 6 or 7?
I think 6, yeah.
600?
Perfect.
can
All
do
right.
6.
Go ahead and add that down. How about tables, chairs, tablecloths? Is this like a, do you know within your venue what they have provided or what they don't?
They do provide some tables,
Perfect.
but
Okay.
we don't know if we want to use them.
Yes.
We haven't really
We have
decided.
yet to decide.
Perfect. So we can skip on that.
Okay,
How
okay.
about chairs, tablecloths, anything there?
Same situation.
Same
Okay,
situation.
perfect. How about table decor?
I think we budgeted 200 for that, actually.
200, perfect. All
Okay,
right,
let's
yeah,
do
go
that.
ahead and put that down. Flowers.
Luckily, that's provided by his parents.
Yes.
Oh, that's
yes,
great.
My
Oh.
parents have offered to
You
cover
know the best
flowers.
part of that? You just
cross it.
cross it out.
Do
It's
it?
gone. I would
Okay,
love
do
to.
it.
Oh yeah, just
Thank
feel
you,
it.
Mom.
Feel the money say
Yay.
thank you. What a beautiful, oh, that's
Yes.
so good.
Blessed.
So good. Okay, it says photo of us.
Yes.
What is that?
We would like to have, as is one of our decorations, just photos of us
Oh
printed
yes,
out.
all around.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, how about the music? Like, do you guys want a DJ or do you know yet?
We're going to have a friend manning a Spotify playlist.
Oh, I love it, you guys. Okay.
However,
String quartets.
this was his request.
This
Yes,
This is string
beautiful.
quartet.
It's beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, I think we can find this for around 600.
Okay. Yes.
We may have to cut it.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
go. Well, let's go ahead and fill it all out because then we'll go back and see. Okay, what do we have left
Okay.
from the 8 grand? So nope, that's perfect. Okay, invitations.
Say 50, right?
Say
Okay,
50-ish.
we'll do 50.
Do 50.
Possibly.
And yeah, okay. So cake. This is a big one. Have you guys thought through this one at all?
Yes.
We have briefly, and this is also something that my parents have offered to help cover.
So
They are Costco proponents.
Yes,
So
I love them
they've
already.
decided that they can get a
it.
couple cakes from Costco and put it together
And
on
do
their
it.
own.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. I was gonna
Yeah.
say because that's a great place that you can. I had a friend and she actually instead of getting like a wedding cake, she did like a celebration cake is what they called it.
Oh,
But she just
cool.
made it white and made it look weddingy.
Exactly.
But it was like half the price. So there's
Yeah.
places to cut that, but a wholesaler like Costco. Okay, so they're gonna pay for the
great.
cake.
Yeah, so
Yep.
marking that
Cross it
out.
out.
Thank-
Covering that.
Are they covering
Also-
most of this, like
They're
cocktail,
covering
dinner, dessert?
Any food.
That food. Okay,
Yes.
so that coming up.
Yes.
Okay,
So
so go ahead and
that's-
cross all those out.
Yay.
Which is a
Perfect.
massive part of the budget.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, place to go.
So that's like the night of the wedding. Like,
Oh, yes,
are we going to
the
get a
wedding.
hotel or?
Yeah, yeah.
But we think we're just hoping our apartment or house is ready
Yeah.
at that point.
Go,
Okay.
Go stay there for
just
the
wanna
first
sit
time.
Skip that.
Yeah.
Do it. Oh,
Yes.
okay. And premarital counseling. Does your pastor do it for free? I feel like a lot of churches and stuff will do that for free.
So we're not having our church do the wedding.
Yes.
We're having a friend who's a pastor
Okay,
do it.
yeah.
And he recommended us a few counselors that we haven't reached out to.
Okay,
yet, but
perfect.
We will
I mean,
soon.
premarital counseling, it's worth the investment.
Right.
If you have it in the
Definitely.
budget,
We-
definitely worth
we
it. But
agree.
but there are places like some churches and stuff, they'll do it for free for a few sessions. So
I like
we can
that.
leave that blank for
Cool.
right now. Okay.
Okay.
So let's add up what we have so far. It's like 7,600. So
Okay.
with the 400 left, which you can, I mean, honestly, like a nice gift card here for like
Yeah.
$100, I think would be very nice. Your party gifts, I mean, you guys can just write a letter or something, like print out a picture of you guys. I mean, like with you and each bridesmaid or something, like you can go
DIY something.
Yes, I would
Okay.
go so
Well, it's-
simple
That's
there.
great.
Your sister and my best friend.
Right.
Yeah, so I would really, I mean, and then string lights. People have string lights everywhere. I would ask around friends
true.
and stuff, and you can just like plug them in together. So the big part I see, you know, the tables, chairs, tablecloths, all that for the reception. We actually have a wedding planner coming up next that you'll be joining me, Malia. So we'll be talking
great.
about
Good luck.
all of that reception stuff. But sometimes venues, I feel like venues they offer some of that stuff for free as part of the venue. And a big place is the string quartet, like you guys said. So if you do have friends, if you went to Belmont, everyone's so musical there.
Yeah.
So musical. So maybe you could like cut that down a little if
Yeah.
you needed to for a little wiggle
Okay.
room. But honestly, you guys are killing it. Like this looks great. Because here's what I love about it. You did what you wanted. You got your dress, you put in the photographer, like those were the big things. So you make that your starting point, and then from here you just figure, okay, here are things that we can cut, here are things we really don't need, and you're able to make decisions based on that. So
Right.
Yeah.
does this feel good? How do you feel?
Yeah.
It does feel good.
Actually, I feel a lot better about it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Having it all
nervous.
in one place is very helpful.
So helpful. I know. Budgeting, whether it's, you know, regular budgets that you do monthly or it's a wedding budget for something, like having it visual
Yeah.
is so important. So it is. It takes everything that's like kind of stressful up here, puts it right here. So thank you guys so much for being here. This is so great. And I'm so glad you feel a little easier.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love it, love it. And for you guys, think about all the creative things they just did. I mean, everything from a cake from Costco, a Spotify playlist, like this stuff works. So go the budget route. I promise, for the long run, it's so worth it. Now, if you guys are looking for an easy way to organize all of your wedding numbers in one place, I've created a fun wedding budget printable so you can work out these numbers together. So click the link below. All right, coming up next, we have a wedding planner coming on to help save some more money in some of the areas we just talked about. All right, so the next step after looking at the budget is to find ways to cut the budget. And so saving money obviously is so important. So I brought in the expert when it comes to all wedding things, Alyssa. She owns NashvilleBrideGuide.com, and she's here to help us figure out, okay, how do we take like a Pinterest beautiful picture, but make it reasonable and within budget.
Exactly. I mean, there's this whole Pinterest effect that happens when you're looking online for your wedding and getting inspiration, but you don't know the price tag that's attached to that picture. So that's what I like to call the Pinterest effect. And you, Malia, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
You sent in some awesome inspiration photos of some tablescapes that you love. I love the whole like dark and moody look that you have going on, like with the black pops and stuff like that. So I brought in 2 inspiration tables today. And
I'll say this, I don't even know which one is like the budget and which one's the Pinterest word. So well done. Okay, so walk us through kind of like what is all of this?
So this is the more luxury tablescape versus the more budget tablescape, which like they still look pretty similar, right? With a more luxury table, if you have this like picture in mind and you're like, I really want this for my wedding, you can still do it. Just do it like for your sweetheart table or just for your head table. If you can't give up these black plates, because they're out of your budget. It's like you can just have 2 plates and then everybody else has a white plate, So you can switch it up like that.
Yes.
My next tip is guest count, which Rachel, I feel like you would agree, the biggest way to save on your wedding budget is through your guest count. So as much as you can limit that or chop it, the more you're gonna save.
Because here's the deal too. I remember getting married and like when we got people saying they couldn't come, we were like, yes.
I know,
okay, good. It's gonna save money. Isn't that terrible though? But I'm like,
I know,
but it's true. It really is. Being able to cut that wedding guest, yes. Okay, like get tactical with me for just a second.
Let's break it down. Let's start with linens. So this linen costs about $50 just to rent for like one wedding table.
Wow.
Versus this linen is a polyester linen, and this is about $15 per linen. And then let's talk about chairs. So looking at that chair over there, it's a beautiful Chiavari chair.
Wow.
I love those. You had some of those in your images that you pinned. Those run about $8.30 per chair here in Nashville. Multiply that by 100. That's $830 that you're spending just on your wedding chairs.
Which is crazy. How much is that?
Versus this is $2.90.
I love it.
Yeah, these are like the classic wedding chairs anyways. I mean, they're comfortable. I feel like people expect these. And then breaking it down even further, like to the place setting, what's your wedding food looking like? Like a buffet?
Maybe a buffet
or
would probably work. I've seen that it will be less expensive than a plated meal.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys are doing a buffet, you may not necessarily need a salad plate. So that means you don't need a salad fork either. And then same thing with chargers. These, food doesn't go on them. They're just decoration. I put it in there because I know you like the black theme, but you could definitely have pops of black elsewhere too. And then think about it. For your cake or for your appetizers, you can do these clear plates that are still really nice. They cost about half of what a regular rental plate costs. You can get bamboo forks or like the nicer plastic forks for this too. And then same with your glassware. Like you can have little filling stations around your wedding, like for your water, or like you could put wine in this, water in this, and then that can even forego a champagne toast. It can forego your water or wine. So again, this is saving even more money.
Okay, another great place to save is florals because flowers are so dang expensive, like insane. That's what I remember about our wedding budget. That's places I cut. So we got our floral budget back and I was like, what, for flowers? So it is crazy. It's so easy to spend so much on flowers.
Yeah, for sure. So on your inspiration board, you had like some little bottles with like little sprigs of flowers in them, which I think is a really great option. Even these black vases are great too. If you wanted this for your wedding, it would probably cost $75 for all of the tables.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then this one, which we see this on Pinterest all the time, and it looks so gorgeous. This costs about $500 for your full wedding. So, I mean, think about that major price difference there.
And I don't need the big bouquets. Like,
Right.
It's really not a priority to me to spend money on that.
Yes,
So
and
I
that's the
love
key.
this.
So great.
Another great way to save on flowers is like, think of what season that you're getting married in. If it's like summer, and make sure you pick flowers that are in season in summer because you're gonna pay extra if you need to get them imported from somewhere.
Okay, Alyssa, you had some great tips. That's like so good, so
Yeah.
tactical. Okay, so for you, what is something that you're like, oh yeah, I would cut that? It'd be great.
We don't need salad. We can get the salad plates and the fancy glasses. I mean, this is beautiful.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh, I love it. Okay,
Definitely.
Alyssa, so I want to know the total.
Yes.
Budget friendly versus Pinterest worthy. Like, give me the total for both.
Let's break it down. So this table is actually 3 times more than this table is.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, which is crazy. So if you think about it, each place setting at this table is going to cost you about $25 per person versus once we took everything away, between $7 and $9 per person.
That's so great. That's incredible.
Yeah. Wow.
And here's the deal too. When you're a guest at a wedding, I'm like, oh no, it's a great wedding. It's my friends. They're getting married. We're eating. We're drinking. We're dancing. We're doing all the things. And it's so fun, right? People are not sitting there and nitpicking every little thing.
Exactly.
And if they are, that's their problem.
Yeah,
Right? I'm like,
and they have
that's
nothing
miserable.
to compare it to,
Yes,
really.
no, it's so great. Oh, that's awesome. Well, Alyssa, incredible tips. Thank you so much. Thank you both
thank you.
so much for being here.
Of course.
This was so good, you guys. I feel like I learned stuff. So great. If we renew our vows one day, I'll use these tips.
Yeah,
I
of
will.
course.
Budget friendly. Okay, well, I hope you guys learned a lot too. And now that you know how to create a great wedding on a budget. And do not forget to check out Alyssa's website, NashvilleBrideGuide.com. Now, I want to hear from you all. So what's one wedding lie that you found yourself believing? Because let's be honest, we've all done it. All right, until next time, make sure to subscribe to my channel and podcast, like on Facebook, so that you can catch the next episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.